Hello everyone. Today I am going to take the last module of MAT 102 and also this is the third module of MA 202 and that is Fourier integrals and Fourier transforms. Fourier series representation, already you have learned Fourier series representation. There we considered a function f of x that is periodic. Okay, for a periodic function f of x, if the period is from minus L to L, suppose f of x is defined on the interval minus L to L, having period 2L, that can be represented as a Fourier series. Okay, so here we are going to Fourier integral representation and after that Fourier transforms. Okay. Here we are considering a function f of x having the following three properties. You just see the properties. F of x is piecewise continuous on every interval minus L to L. So here we are considering a function f of x that is piecewise continuous on every interval minus L to L. Okay. And the second statement is f of x is absolutely integrable. See the word absolutely integrable. Absolutely integrable means integral from minus infinity to infinity. Modulus of f of x dx is convergent. Integral minus infinity to infinity modulus of f of x dx, when we are calculating, it is finite or it converges. Okay, that is the second statement. And the third statement is for every x in R, f of x has left and right hand derivatives. See, we are considering the function f of x such a manner. For every x in R, this function has left hand and right hand derivative. So such a function here we are considering. Actually the Fourier integrals is derived from Fourier series itself. So we are considering a function f of x having the following properties. Okay. Suppose f of x as a periodic function with period 2L, then we know the Fourier series representation of f of x as follows. F of x is equal to a0 by 2 plus sigma n from 1 to infinity a n cos n pi x by L plus b n sin n pi x by L. Okay, this thing you have learned earlier, where a0 is equal to the Fourier coefficients. A0 is equal to 1 by L integral from minus L to L f of x dx. A n is equal to 1 by L integral from minus L to L f of x into cos n pi x by L dx, and Bn is equal to 1 by L integral minus L to L f of x into sin n pi x by L. Okay, so f of x takes this representation n from 1 to infinity, this representation, and this is called the Fourier series representation. And Fourier series representation exists if f of x is a periodic function with period, in this case the period is 2L. Suppose we are extending L to infinity. See, in this case the function f of x is defined on the interval minus L to L. Okay, so what is happening when you are extending this to infinity? So this becomes minus infinity to infinity. So in this case the function is not periodic function. However, this can be represented as an integral. Okay, and this particular integral form is called the Fourier integral representation. In Fourier integral representation, we can derive the Fourier integral representation by just substituting in this representation a0, an and bn. These expressions provided the limit from minus L to L becomes minus infinity to infinity everywhere. A0, an and bn, these expressions you substitute. Okay, so I am writing here the final form of the Fourier integral representation. Okay. Fourier integral representation of a function f of x is defined as the Fourier integral representation of f of x is given by integral 0 to infinity a omega cos omega x plus b omega sin omega x into d omega. Okay, see the integral is with respect to omega. ഈ ഒരു ഇന്റഗ്രൽ നിങ്ങൾ എഴുതുമ്പോൾ വളരെയധികം ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചോണം. എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സ് എന്നൊരു ഫംഗ്ഷൻ ആയിരിക്കും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടാവുക. ഈ എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സ് എന്ന ഫംഗ്ഷനെ ഒരു ഇന്റഗ്രൽ ആയിട്ട് എങ്ങനെ റെപ്രസെന്റ് ചെയ്യാം എന്നതാണ് ഫോറിയർ ഇന്റഗ്രൽ റെപ്രസെന്റേഷൻ എന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പം ഒരു ഫംഗ്ഷന്റെ ഇന്റഗ്രൽ റെപ്രസെന്റേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരു ഇന്റഗ്രൽ ഫോമിലായിരിക്കും. ഇതിൽ രണ്ട് അൺനോൺ തിങ്സ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കാണാവുന്നതാണ്, എ ഒമേഗ ആൻഡ് ബി ഒമേഗ. അപ്പം നിങ്ങൾ കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ളത് ആകെ ഈ ഇൻ്റഗ്രൽ റെപ്രസെൻറ്റേഷൻ, ഈ തരത്തിലുള്ള ഇൻ്റഗ്രൽ റെപ്രസെൻറ്റേഷനിൽ എ ഒമേഗ ആൻഡ് ബി ഒമേഗ കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ഇവിടെ സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുക. ഓക്കെ, വേർ എ ഒമേഗ is given by a formula. A omega is equal to 1 by pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of t into cos omega t dt. See, the integration is with respect to t. Okay, f of t means you are given f of x whose integral representation you are calculating, isn't it? So you replace x by t, we will get f of t into cos omega t dt, and b omega is equal to 1 by pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of t into sin omega t dt. Okay, so Fourier integral representation of a function f of x is this one. In this expression, you just calculate a omega and b omega by using these two definitions and substitute whose values here. Okay, so ഈ f of x എന്ന അവസാനം എഴുതുമ്പോൾ ഇതൊരു ഇന്റഗ്രൽ പോലെ ഒരു ഇന്റഗ്രൽ ഫോം ആയിട്ടായിരിക്കും നിങ്ങൾ എഴുതുക. അതായിരിക്കും ഈ f of x എന്ന ഫംഗ്ഷന്റെ ഫോറിയർ ഇന്റഗ്രൽ റെപ്രസെന്റേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, so we have the Fourier integral representation of a function f of x given by f of x is equal to integral 0 to infinity a omega cos omega x plus b omega sin omega x into d omega, and we know what is a omega and b omega. Now you check the convergence of this Fourier integrals. Okay, we know already the convergence of Fourier series. Here, suppose the f of x satisfies 1 to 3 statements. See, I told you 3 statements that f of x should satisfy. Okay, here we have an important theorem. If f of x satisfies 1 to 3 statements, already we discussed what are the 3 statements. Okay, then the Fourier series, Fourier integrals also converges to f of x. If our f of x satisfies all the 3 statements, first 3 statements, then the Fourier integral converges to f of x. Now, what about at the point of discontinuity? Okay, see, in 1 to 3 statement, the first statement itself we considered as f of x is piecewise continuous. Now, look at the discontinuous points. Now, what about the convergence? At the point of discontinuity, it converges to half of f of x plus f of x minus. Okay, so 2 things you have to consider. The first one is for points where the function is continuous, and the second one is the points where the function is discontinuous. Okay, for continuous part you can take f of x like this as an integral form, and for discontinuous points separately you write down f of x as 1 by 2 into f of x plus f of x minus, and this will be very clear when we are doing few problems based on Fourier integrals. Okay, now let us take an example of Fourier integral representation. Find Fourier integral representation of the function f of x is equal to 1 for modulus of x less than 1 and 0 for mod x greater than 1. So you are given f of x not in a single expression, you are given a split up form. F of x takes 2 different values based on the values of x. Okay, when modulus of x less than 1, say what do you mean by mod x less than 1? That means x lies between minus 1 to 1, isn't it? The statement means minus 1 less than x less than 1. So for x lies between minus 1 to plus 1, the f of x takes the value 1, and 0 for mod x greater than 1. Mod x greater than 1 means x is other than minus 1, the left side of minus 1 and the right side of 1, the value will be 0. Okay, so this way f of x is defined, and we should find the Fourier integral representation. Okay, so we know the Fourier integral representation of a function f of x is given by integral 0 to infinity a omega cos omega x plus b omega sin omega x plus x into d omega. Okay, so there we have two constants a omega and b omega, two coefficients actually. Those two coefficients we should calculate. Okay, so first you calculate a omega. A omega is equal to a omega, by the definition it is 1 by pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of t into cos omega t dt. Okay, this is with respect to t. Okay, since the function, the integrand is from minus infinity to infinity, we don't have from minus infinity to infinity directly one f of t, isn't it? Okay, so you can split the integral how? From minus infinity to minus 1, then from integral from minus 1 to 1, then the third integral from 1 to infinity. Okay, from minus infinity to 1, what will be the value? It is 0. And from 1 to infinity, the value is again 0. So we are having only the integral from minus 1 to 1. There we have, see, from mod x less than 1. That means from minus 1 to 1, the function takes the value 1. Okay, so our integral from minus infinity to infinity reduces to integral from minus 1 to 1. If minus 1 to 1, what is f of t? F of t, what is the value? F of x, what is the value? 1. F of t, what is the value? 1. Okay, into cos omega t dt. Now, cos omega t, cos theta or cos x, it is an even function, isn't it? For even function, we know first of all what is an even and odd function. Okay, in small classes you have learned even and odd function. So cos omega t is an even function. Therefore, we have a property integral from minus a to a f takes the form 2 times integral 0 to a. This is the property in definite integral, isn't it? From minus a to a f, you can write this as 2 times 0 to a. Therefore, integral from minus 1 to 1, you can write twice 0 to 1, isn't it? So, this integral becomes twice integral 0 to 1 cos omega t dt. And cos omega t on integration, it is sin omega t by the coefficient omega. Okay, from 0 to 1, you substitute upper limit and then the lower limit. Okay, so on substituting upper limit for the variable t, you substitute 1. It is sin omega by omega minus lower limit 0. So sin 0 is 0. Therefore, what we have? It is 2 by pi into sin omega by omega. That is 2 sin omega by pi omega. So this is the value of a omega. Okay, now we should calculate one more thing, that is b omega. Okay. Now b omega is equal to 1 by pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of t into sin omega t dt. And f of t takes the value 1 from minus 1 to 1. And for all the other limits, the value will be 0. Okay. So 1 by pi integral minus 1 to 1 f of t is 1 into sin omega t dt. And actually this integral we don't want to calculate, isn't it? Why? So directly we can write the answer as 0. What is the reason? Integral from minus a to a f dx. When f is an odd function, what is the answer? Without calculating, we can write the final answer if f is an odd function. Look at the function sine. Sine omega t. This is an odd function, isn't it? Sine function is an odd function. Therefore, integral from minus a to a f dx equal to 0 by this property. Directly you can write the value of b omega is equal to 0. So, we obtained the value of a omega and b omega. Now, you substitute these two values in the definition of Fourier integral representation. Therefore, the Fourier integral representation of f of x is equal to, we know by the definition, it is integral from 0 to infinity a omega cos omega x plus b omega sin omega x into d omega. Okay, and we have the value of a omega and b omega. Substitute these values here. So it is integral from 0 to infinity. A omega we calculated, isn't it? It is 2 sin omega divided by pi omega into cos omega x. And what about b omega? B omega is 0. Okay, so we have cos omega x into d omega. So 2 by pi can be taken outside. So 2 by pi into integral from 0 to infinity sin omega cos omega x divided by omega into d omega. This is actually the Fourier integral representation of the function f of x. F of x can be represented as an integral like this. This integral representation is called the Fourier integral representation. This is actually for the continuous part, isn't it? You are given the function f of x in two different ways, isn't it? Based on the values of x. X lies from minus 1 to 1 and other for the other values of x, isn't it? Now what about at the point 1? So in this question, what is a point of discontinuity? Okay, so already in the theorem we discussed how to find the Fourier integral, the form of f of x in the case of discontinuous points. So that also we should calculate in this case. Okay, so the discontinuous points x is equal to 1, also x is equal to minus 1 is also a discontinuous continuous point. Okay, so we are separately calculating the f of x at the point 1 and at minus 1. Okay. For the discontinuous points, you consider at x is equal to 1, what is f of x? Since 1 is a point of discontinuity, f of x is equal to f of x plus f of x minus divided by 2, isn't it? So, in this case, put x is equal to 1. Therefore, this is f of 1 plus f of 1 minus divided by 2. F of 1 plus, what do you mean by f of 1 plus? X takes values which are greater than 1. Okay. So you are given f of x like this. F of x take the value 1 for mod x less than 1. That means x lies between minus 1 to 1. So x 1 plus means all the x values which are greater than 1. For greater than 1, what is f of x? It takes a value 0. Therefore 1 plus f of 1 plus whose value will be? It is 0. 1 minus whose value will be 1. So in the reverse manner, isn't it? 1 plus it is 0 and 1 minus means the values which are less than 1. For values which are less than 1, what is f of x? It is 1. Okay, so 0 plus 1, so that is 1 by 2. Okay, now x equal to minus 1 is also a discontinuous point. So at this point, what is f of x? F of x is equal to 1 by 2 into f of minus 1 plus minus 1 minus. Now what is f of minus 1 plus? Minus 1 plus. Minus 1 plus എന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് minus 1-നേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ വാല്യൂസ്. minus 1-നേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ വാല്യൂസ് എന്നാൽ minus 1-നേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ വാല്യൂസ് ഈ റേഞ്ചിലാണ് അല്ലേ? minus 1-നേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ വാല്യൂസ് എക്സിന് വരുമ്പോൾ എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സ് ഏത് ഫോം എടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്? minus 1-നേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ. minus 1 മുതൽ 1 വരെ എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സിന്റെ വാല്യൂ 1 ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ minus 1 പ്ലസ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സിന്റെ വാല്യൂ എത്രയായിരിക്കും? 1 ആയിരിക്കും. minus 1 മൈനസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാലോ minus 1-നേക്കാൾ താഴെ. minus 1-നേക്കാൾ താഴെയാണ് എങ്കിൽ എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സിന്റെ വാല്യൂ എന്തായിരിക്കും? 0 ആയിരിക്കും. അപ്പോൾ ആ രണ്ട് വാല്യൂസ് ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. സോ എഫ് ഓഫ് minus 1 പ്ലസ് മീൻസ് it is 1 and minus 1 minus means it is 0. So the same answer 1 by 2. Therefore, at the discontinuous points, the Fourier integral representation of f of x or f of x reduces to 1 by 2. Okay, so this is actually the Fourier integral representation of the given function f of x. We have the result f of x is equal to the final answer as 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity sin omega into cos omega x by omega d omega. And from this you can derive one more thing. See, from this expression integral 0 to infinity sin omega cos omega x by omega d omega, you keep this integral this side and shift this to the other side. So what we have, integral from 0 to infinity sin omega cos omega x by omega d omega is equal to it is pi f of x by 2, pi by 2 into f of x. Okay, f of x you are given in two different forms, isn't it? For mod x less than 1 and for mod x greater than 1, and already also we calculated what is the value of f of x at the point 1 and at the point minus 1, right? Okay, therefore for mod x less than 1, what about this integral? Integral is pi by 2 into f of x. F of x means 1. In this category, in this case, f of x takes the value 1. So, it is pi by 2. And for mod x greater than 1, what is f of x? F of x take the value 0. So, pi by 2 into 0, that is 0. And for at the point x is equal to 1 and x is equal to minus 1, we calculated f of x as what? It is 1 by 2, right? So, pi by 2 into 1 by 2. Pi by 2 into 1 by 2, that is pi by 4. So, you can derive. Suppose you are asked to show that this integral is equal to something like this. You can you can solve this question by this the following way. Okay. Therefore, integral 0 to infinity sin omega cos omega x by omega d omega is equal to pi by 2 for mod x less than 1, 0 for mod x greater than 1, and pi by 4 at the point x equal to 1 and x equal to minus 1. Okay. For the time being, I solved only one question from Fourier integral, and you have we can solve more questions based on Fourier integrals in the coming videos. Thank you very much.